Good morning, YouTube! What is up, y'all? I hope you know that by now we're doing Python warm-up 2 problems, and all of these have to do with like string problems, right? String and ints, that's what we've mainly been dealing with here. And mainly like splicing and loops, you know? So let's see what this problem's about. Given a string, return the count of the number of times that a substring length 2 appears in the string and also as the last two chars of the string. Okay, so since it's the last two chars of the string, we can just take this and find out how many times it appears in the string. So hi yields 1 because we don't count the end substring. I see. So how many times does hi appear in this string basically? Well, we see that there's a hi in the beginning of the string, so that's a counter of 1. The rest are pretty much x's, so we can't really use those. And then we have to exclude this, right? Though there are two highs in the string, right? Two highs as substrings in the word hi xxx hi, we can only include the first hi because we have to exclude the end of the substring. So first of all, how do we get the last two, right? That's what the problem is called. How do we get the last two? Well, it's a simple trick here. String splicing, right? You can do -2. Right? What will that give you? That will actually give you, yeah, okay. That should give you the second to last letter H. So in this example, this will give you H. And if you want H until the end is just writing colon. You know, you can write string -2 plus string -1. This is also a possibility because this is grabbing the last two letters. -1 is just saying grab the very last letter. -2 is grabbing the second to last letter. So you can also do this, but another cool way is just putting a colon, and that will grab the last two. Make sure that's a colon, not a semicolon. That will grab the last two letters of the string, and then we're looking for that substring in the string that we are given. So we're gonna label this substring, right? And we're gonna see if substring is in string. Right? str is what we're given, not string. str. So well, we can do this, and this will return true because obviously it's in the string because it's the last two. But we're trying to count, so we can't just do if. So we have to do a for loop to see if the two letters are in the string. So let's do for I in range. And yeah, let me just delete this. For I in range, len string. Now, do we really need to go over the entire length of the string? Well, the answer is no, because remember here we don't really count the end of the substring, right? And the end of the substring means the last two letters. We don't count those. So we should go from, if it's a 7-letter word, we shouldn't go from 0 to 6. We should go from 0 to 4 because indices 5 and 6 are the last two letters. So all you do is put after len string -2. And that's how we know for sure that we won't account for the last two letters. And then letter by letter, we just have to check for if the word pretty much includes one of the substrings include the last two, right? So let's see here. What can we do? We can do if string. We can do I, and then I plus 2. I'm just gonna go over this in my head really quickly. Yeah, so I think unfortunately this might go over the case where we have length string -2. I think we have to actually put -4. I'm gonna have to verify this, but I think it might be -4 so that we don't account, because if we're doing +2 and we reach the end, so let me give you an example. Let's say it's a 6-letter word, right? I'm gonna put this in a multi-line comment, 6-letter word. So indices are 0, 0 through 5, and then we took the 4th and 5th as our substring, right? Then all we need to check for is really 0 through 3, right? But the thing is, since we're checking this I plus 2 thing, 3 plus 2 is 5, right? And that's automatically checking these. So I'm not really sure if we do -2 or -4. If we do -4, that would be a 6-letter word. -4, that would just be 2. You know, and that would check 2 to 4. Yeah, I think that might be alright. It might be -3 instead, so I think we'll have to kind of like, like I guess we'll have to tinker with it. -4 might be wrong, it might be -3, might be -2, we'll see. I'm guessing -4 or -3. If string equals, if that equals the substring, then we have to have a counter. That's another thing, right? So we're making a counter, right? We're returning a number, but that at the end of the day is the number of times that substring appears in that string. So we make a counter, we can call it counter or count, and all you do is count plus equals 1 if this condition is met. And then at the end of the day, we are returning a number, right? We're returning the count. So I'm going to put -4, see if that's correct. Unexpected indent. Oh, I think it's this multi-line comment. Even comments get parsed, right? Okay, so we did get some reds, unfortunately. Let's see if this number is 3 now. Oh! XXX. Okay, let's see here. This is interesting. XXX. Don't tell me it's -2. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Whoa, really? Okay, that's interesting. Oh, I guess that makes sense. Because it doesn't include, I see, that's the confusing part. So, I plus 2, right, that kind of excludes, right, the splicing. So if you do I plus 2, and it's -2, then really what you're doing is like something like I plus 1, and that's really going to the 4th index. So it's not checking all the way to the 5th, you know, if that's your worry. It's not checking 4, 5, it's checking 3, 4 at the last, you know, and then you'll form a count after that. So just to go over it in our heads, I'm going to delete this, I'm going to make this. So first it's checking 0 to 1, then 1 to 2, then 2 to 3, then 3 to 4, and it won't check 4 to 5 from there. Because in a 6-letter word, that -2 means that 4 is our last check, and that's the end. Alright, happy coding.